What's missing?
For me, I just think it's like time to build that bond. Like I move slower in general, like when it comes to dating, which I know I'm married.
And welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Told you guys about Married at First Sight, Karen and Miles. Karen says she wants to take it slow once again, or she doesn't want to be misunderstood as her slowness being not for emotional intimacy or physical intimacy. Guys, she wants to take it slow. This time we'll take it slow. That note will start you off, but don't worry about that, okay? If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. For those of you returnees, you already know what it is. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Alright, let's get into the video. So, dealing with Miles and Karen, I think it's really interesting. If you haven't watched my past two reviews, please go and watch it. In this episode, we're gonna this review, we're gonna kind of deal with the end scene of their conversation where they were talking about pet names and dealing with her taking it slow, okay? And so I wanted to kind of start from the pet name situation. I think what was interesting about the pet name situation is that when people do pet names in relationships, it's a part of ownership, right? We say pet names to say that we have ownership.
In person. Have I called you any pet names?
Child.
This is biblical. You look at the Bible in Genesis, Adam is told to name all the animals and he has dominion over them. It's also interesting that once he is given, I would say, rulership over the woman, he then names her Eve. Deep it. Before then, he didn't name her. He just said, this is woman. Yeah? There was no name. He just said, this is woman. Right? The wisdom that God had given to him. And then it got to a point where they were leaving the garden, okay? And then it says that he named her Eve, the mother of all living things, right? Because at that point, that God had declared that the woman should pine after her husband. Rulership. And when I say rulership, the way that Christ understood it, he came and made sure that you understood it properly. Rulership doesn't mean that you go and dictate everything. Rulership means stewardship. And stewardship means servitude. How do I serve as a king? How do I serve the subjects? It's not about just being a king and being fed. How do I feed you? Because I'm the source. Right? That's what God is trying to let us know, that you as a source, as a male, are meant to supply nutrients to the body. The mouth here is meant to eat and supply energy to the rest of the body to do what? To be able to move. Do you understand? So, deep it, yeah, in this relationship that we're saying, when you talk about pet names are what we say is innocent at the time, but what we don't realize is a form of ownership. And so when people have pet names for each other, they are saying that, listen, I know you in such an intimate way.
Wow. Do you want to submit a list to me of potential pet names?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I know you in a close relationship style, right? And so this is why you can't let everybody give you a nickname. You can't let everybody give you a nickname. Now, some nicknames come because, obviously, of what you do. Yes, some nicknames are there as a result of somebody saying, okay, you act in this characteristic, or you act in this manner, or this demeanor, or something like that, right? But in terms of like relationship, we're often giving people these nicknames as a way of ownership, to say, hey, I've got exclusive rights to you because of the relationship that we have, right? Cool. and just to prove that, imagine you got, let's say you like, babe is a common term, so that's not really a pet name. But let's just say I call you Bubblehead, yeah? I call you Bubblehead, that's my nickname for you, yeah? Or I call you, let's say, Malteser, I call you Malteser, yeah? And then another guy also said, hey, Malteser. Let's be real, ladies and gentlemen. If someone else is calling your partner the nickname that you have formed for them, you're number one first going to ask, how the hell did you know about the nickname? And number two, you're going to say, why are they calling you that, since they don't have the relationship that we have? Do you get it? So nicknames and pet names are important to dictate and show ownership, and to show there's an exclusivity between us two in our relationship, and no one else can have the relationship that we're having, all right? So that's quintessential. So the fact that obviously Karen was turned off by this, she almost shuddered. She looked away. She looked sick. She looked like she was going to throw up. Yeah? She's having a visceral reaction. Yeah? Having a reaction, a very hard reaction to a behavior that is emotional. And for me, this is an area, I think I've said in the last 2 reviews, where I believe that there needs to be a conversation around, right? Because oftentimes when people are against emotional things, it's because they've been denied emotional things. You know, they've never trained in that area. Or the other two is that someone's hurt them so bad, they've denied that part of themselves, because what it does is it allows them to defend themselves. And I really believe that Karen's trying to defend herself. As she said, obviously the past relation that hurt her, maybe it could be from childhood to a relationship. You've heard me say this several times. But I really believe that now it's defensive. And the reason why I say that is because later on in the conversation, when she says, you know, me saying I want to take it slow has been misinterpreted. It's not been misinterpreted, love. That's what you've done. You don't want to have conversations. You don't want to do physical touch just yet. You're not open up in certain areas just yet. You're defending yourself, right? And then you're saying, oh, because I want to be able to see you in all your light. And the reason why is because you want to make sure he doesn't hurt you. So you're defending yourself. There's no beef against it. You are defending yourself. You're making sure that the decision you've made is correct. Because originally when you started this program, you said, obviously, this is not something that you would originally do. So what you're doing is trying to make sure and govern your decision that, I got to make sure that this is the right thing I'm doing. But you're kind of already too late. You're already in this process. You're already married. It's about looking forward now, right? And so... and even when they were talking about the whole pet name situation, look at her hand position. Like, this girl was uncomfortable, right? She was sitting there and she had her hand in her other hand, and it just looked uncomfortable. Like she was not okay.
I don't recall.
I do. What pet names you gonna give me?
I'm not a pet name person.
You know what I mean? So take into the fact that she wasn't okay, it looked like the hand position wasn't okay. Take the fact that she almost looked like she was gonna throw up when they mentioned about pet names and him wanting to do pet names, right? And then you know, the fact that obviously as well, Miles' reaction to that, you know, it looked, I'm gonna say this as well, it looked like he wanted, or I shouldn't say he wanted, it looked like Miles' eyes, the light, the glimmer, the shine, the hope was evaporating, right? If you look at his eyes, the way he put his head against the board and rolled his eyes, the light that normally was in there was fading. And for me, that tells me that you're starting to lose a grip on how you feel about these situations. You're changing your mindset. You're no longer in bubble wrap mode. You're no longer in honeymoon phase. You're starting to come out of it and you start to see things for what it truly is, right? And so, even in that, as they were talking about the pet name situation, she says, do you want me to call you a name? Darling, what have we been talking about for the last few minutes? And then she goes, she knew he does because, I said obviously, she knows that he wants to do this, but she's asking that question almost as if like, hopefully that you're going to say, oh no, don't worry about it, you be cool. But he's not going to say that, because he said, yes, I want you to call me a nickname. And she's like, oh, what kind of nicknames do you want me to call you? And that's not how it works. Nicknames are meant to be things that you formulate. Let me just get a drink. It's not a pet name or nickname for you when I am giving it to you. I don't name myself. That my name is my name, but I don't name my pet name or nickname for you. No, because that's not how it works. How it's meant to work is that you give me a pet name or nickname based upon how you feel towards me or what you've seen about me. You understand? Like, you know, I don't necessarily have a pet name. Do you know what I mean? I call them, I probably should, I don't know if to say it anyway. I would, like, for instance, mine is Big Head, isn't it? Like Big Head or Malteser. You know what I'm saying? Or I shorten her name to a certain way. Yeah, I shorten her name to a certain way, and that's the way that that would be my pet name, nickname kind of thing. I shorten her name, even though it's already short already. I call her something, right? Yeah. And so when you do that, I'm just trying to show you that obviously, you know, like, you're unique to me. Your position and your relative position and proximity to me is different from everybody else. So therefore, I give you a certain name. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas everybody else, I call them by their name or etc. etc. Do you get what I'm saying? Or unless you've got a universal nickname, then I will call you that. But my partner has a special place in my life, right? We reserve a special spot in their life. So I don't tell you what my nickname is. You tell me what my nickname is, and that's what you call me, because you are showing me that I am yours. You understand? Yeah? I am yours. That's what we do with our cars. You see, your car, yeah, you say, oh, I call her Betty. Why'd you call her Betty? To give her life, number one, yeah. Number two, to say it's your possession. This is my. The my there is a possessive, is it possessive pronoun? It's like, it shows that this is yours. So in relationships, people want to feel like they are somebody's. You understand? Because that makes us feel safe, loved, and cared for. Because the same way we're replicating what we feel as love from our parents. So when our parents name us, Adam, come here, Adam. When they name you Adam, they are saying that they have ownership over you and responsibility for you. And so we replicate those love, or the aspect of love, or the dynamics of love like that, that ownership feeling in relationships. Look, everybody wants to feel owned. And that owned here is different from our parents in the sense of the fact that everybody wants to feel desired and wanted. Do you understand? So when I give you those nicknames, I'm saying to you that you are mine. You are my. So we sing a song, you are my desire, no one else can do. You know what I'm saying? It's a worship song. It's like saying, you are my desire, you are my treasure, you are my special banoffee pie, you are my apple in my eye. You know what I mean? Like the Lord said, David is he's a man after my own heart. You understand? Yeah. So like that, they call him men of valor. You know what I'm saying? They have names for these people. Why? Because that shows ownership. You understand? It gives an ownership to say that you are wanted and covered, and the person responsible for you. My partner is responsible for me, and I'm responsible for my partner, in the sense of that we are to cover each other. That's what the Bible says, that 1 Corinthians 7, that your bodies are not yours, they're theirs. So her body's mine, and my body's hers. Look at each other as you are one. Just
hardest to change your perception of me, because I think that
yes, and I don't know why, but I was triggered straight away. I was like, you're working hardest on changing your perception in my eyes. I was like, so you're not working harder to, just do things. But I said, let me give her a chance. And she went on to explain.
cautious. I came in like, whoa, I want to take things slow. And I think that over time, that's been misinterpreted to.
And I said, do you know what? I get it. I understand that. And this is why I said that Dr. Viviana shouldn't be giving her a pass, but rather should be on her neck to say, what is it that's happening to you? Why are you unable to communicate? Up until this point, maybe I missed it. Comment down below. Let us know down below. Why is Karen behaving the way she's behaving? I know she said obviously she's scared to get hurt. She's been hurt in the past. So that's a little bit of a reason as to why. Do you get me? But there's not been an expansive reason that's been made to us anyway. And it looks like, obviously, Miles hasn't got that reasoning. Why? Because if he had, the way he would respond would be different. I said that in the last review. Right?
Get from me initially, but they're not things that I'm like completely against either.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Listen to the wording, and I think you'll get what I'm saying. She says, in response to that, the fact that that's not what she's trying to communicate, the physical touch and the emotions, everything like that. What she said obviously is that she's not initially like that, but she's not against it. That's not a very confident answer. I mean, at least you could have said, oh, I'm not initially like that, but I am gonna get there. The I am lets me know that you know where you're going to. But you saying that I'm not against it means that I'm open to it, but don't desire it. Remember I told you in the last reviews, I said, it's not enough to just say, okay, like that they said to Olivia in the thing, I'm receptive to it. What does I'm receptive to it mean? Do you desire it? Because I desire you. So that it's like, oh, I'm open to a relationship with you. No, I want a relationship with you. Do you understand? Like, you being receptive, it's not inspiring. It's not confident. You understand? And it makes me feel like you don't really want this. You know what I'm saying? You're willing to do, and again, I made this point about last time about the fact that I will versus I want. You know what I'm saying? I will seeks permission. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I am willing to means I'm seeking permission. I'm willing to do it because of. Whereas I want to, it says I'm going to do it because I want to. Whereas I am willing is about you instructing and then I will to do it. Do you understand? Like when the Bible says, obviously, I will to do the works of God. It's like when I say that, it means I'm willing to do what your will is. You understand? Now, I want to do the works of God. It's completely different, meaning that there's a desire in me that seeks to do. Do you understand? So there's a difference, and again, here it's being played out again in language. That is, you're saying that, okay, cool. I'm not against it. No, you should be saying I'm going to get there. I'm definitely for this. I want this to happen, but take some time. That would be communicating that I want to do this. But what you said, I'm not against it, meaning you're not really down for it, and it's probably not going to change because no one's pulling you up on it. And then obviously he wouldn't say obviously about thinking about beyond the 8 weeks. And again, her response was, and when he said that as well, look at his expression. The guy's in love. Are you telling me you haven't given your heart to this girl? Brother, the look you gave her was in love. You understand?
That together and be comfortable with each other, but still make sure we feel like we have.
You were singing last Christmas, I gave you my heart. And the very first day, you gave it away. I don't know why I sung that song because it's got nothing to do with what I love. Anyway, so he was looking at her with deep affection, eyes wide bright, looking at her like she's everything and more. And then you notice also as well, and the reason why I think he looked at it like that as well is because he loves deep conversations, he loves emotional conversations, and it was starting to go there. So I think his love language could be words of affirmation. I think it is words of affirmation, isn't it? He likes to have compliments, chats that are deep, etc., etc.
Because we have a lot of time.
I mean, for me, it's hard because I'm like, how do we navigate that together and be comfortable with each other?
Okay. So listen, it's got nothing to do with past 8 weeks. Do you see what I'm saying? Again, language. She's not saying when it goes past 8 weeks. She said, how do we get to a point where we're comfortable on decision day? She's not that, because for her, she's not confirmed and convinced. My brother just said, it's because I keep thinking about beyond the 8 weeks. He's past that. It's not even a question in his mind whether they're going to be together or not in 8 weeks' time. In her head, she's still thinking, how do we make sure we're confident on the 8 week? Which means we're not confident now. Or I'm not confident now. I'm not 100% sure. For me, I think Karen's still considering her option of leaving or not. Not saying she's got another option in someone else, but she's thinking about potentially whether this is the right relationship for her. And so for me, it's deeply pressing. A concern there for me. Again, I don't get excited by little acts that she may be doing because everyone can do that. I just don't think she's fully convinced. And Miles needs to know, talk or die silently. You understand? Talk or die silently, because that's what will happen if you don't express how you feel. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I don't know, what's your thoughts, what's your feelings about this? Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment down below in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts. One love.